Are you ready for this next gentleman? Don't sound like you're ready. I'm not going to bring him on unless you're ready. See, it's important that I get you in the right place. He's a young friend of mine, and we call him the party starter. Are you ready for a comedy party? I can't hear you one more time. Are you ready for a comedy party? Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Carter, party starter. Give it up.
Time to get that party started all up in your ear holes. Here we go. When you had a bad day and you want those bad vibes to go away.
When every day life gets harder. Darren
Carter.
You need the party starter.
It's the Pocket Party Podcast.
With the right
Pocket Party Podcast.
in your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast.
It's in your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast. Or if your day needed a booster, then you need to talk to Red Rooster. Mr. Carter about to take you to school. Here we go. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt yourself.
And we're back. Hey, it's your host, Darren Carter, the party starter with the one and only...
Brian Swinehart.
All right, buddy. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel great, man. You know, I feel amazing. Everything's good. I'm doing well. I'm here hanging out with you in the Brea Improv in the green room before the show.
That's right.
So I guess that's a victory for today, and that's how I'm feeling. Pretty
That's right,
good.
man. You got to have those victories every day at a time. Every day is a victory. Oh, this is so cool. We're at the Hollywood Improv. I'm sorry, we're at the Brea Improv. But over my shoulder, for those of you that are watching the video of it, probably on Brian's channel, I see Robin Williams and Bud Friedman. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you left Los Angeles 4 years ago, and this is your first time back in LA as a comedian to do shows, to kind of see your old friends. What were you expecting, and what did you see?
Well, you know, in my opinion, Darren, you're trying to keep me calm on this show. You don't want me to get too riled up and get you canceled from all the people who don't know you got a show anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the people who know you know if you're friend with me, then whatever. But
by the way, guys, he did the very first podcast with me. This is episode 1. We did a gratitude list. And then this is episode, I want to say 294, 295, something like that.
And this is the anti-gratitude list episode after going through everything.
Name 5 things that anger you. We'll go back and forth.
Fauci. You knew that was
Damn,
coming.
that was off the tip of your tongue. Yeah. Fauci. Yeah, that's the other F word, right?
Yeah, that's the main F word.
Oh,
that's
damn,
the worst F
it's
word.
replaced the 4-letter one for the
Yes.
5-letter one.
Yeah, so I left during all that when it got crazy here in California, and I said I'm out of here. It was pissing me off too much, and I didn't like any of the rules or regulations or mandates that they were having. And you know, the governor of California is bad if people are moving to Ohio saying Ohio's better, okay? So because people right now, it's raining outside the last couple of days, and people have been all upset and marking themselves safe. And I'm like, and they're like, are you upset that it was raining the whole time you were in California? I was like, no. It was still 20 degrees warmer than Ohio, and and the city could use some of the filth cleaned off of it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny though, right? People on Facebook, I'm marking myself safe.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, from a puddle?
Yeah, totally. That's right. From a puddle. It was just, yeah. So anyways, that part was interesting seeing, being back for, and it was a little surreal, man. I feel like, in my opinion, I've been telling people this, I feel like, Los Angeles is still a shell of a city of what it used to be. I feel almost like the town had a little stroke or something. It doesn't seem like the way it was, the vibrant. And even some of the people I talked to, so I was feeling that way. And then I talked to a couple people who live here and said that they feel the same, that it never, because it used to be a much more happier place, I feel like. And I think hopefully it'll get back to that. But with everything that happened, especially in Los Angeles, I mean, they were especially unfair there. So that brought a real dark energy. Because I remember when I was there in 2020, the energy was just so terrible, man.
So in my opinion, I think it was dark in 2020, still dark in 2021. And 2021... I remember when they lifted a lot of the stuff in May of 21, it was getting better. 22, there was a lot more things opening, felt a lot really good, like, okay. And then 23, of course. And now I feel like it's got back to normal now.
You know what? I think
So I think this is the perfect time for you to come back.
I'm not coming back.
No, but you did come back.
I did come back. I mean, I come back to visit, yeah, for sure. But I do think that it's improved a lot from where it was. I still don't think it was where it was like back in 2019 as good, or any of those years before that. I don't think it's still there from what I can get out of it. But I do think it's a lot better than it was. It's on its way, hopefully, back up, so.
Yeah, if you would have been here in 2020, which you were a little bit of it,
it was terrible.
Not good. And there was all the overpasses, just the people, the buildings that were shut down. It was awful. 2021 was better, but then even that was risky because you do a show and then they would have to cancel it. Sorry, we got to cancel it. You're like, oh my goodness. But then now things are, all the clubs are opening, brand new clubs are opening.
Yeah, I mean,
more opportunities. It's just the best.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. So it was surreal for me to come back. That's the word I kept. It just felt so weird being back, and but I've had I've been running into people like crazy since I've been back.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
The Lord works in mysterious ways, man. I'm leaving.
Dude, you're getting recognized more by people that you know than I am. You know what I mean? And I live here. Yeah. You'd think I'd be running into like people I know, but you're like, tell them like today you got up and
I got up. I'm leaving my Airbnb where I'm staying, and I'm walking, and I see a comic in a house 4 houses down, a dude that I met when I was in Austin, Texas, and we start chopping it up and talking, blah, 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 for a little while. I was like, wow, man, that is crazy. This guy was staying 4 houses away from where I was staying, all right? So then I go on. Well, I was going to catch the metro to get to Burbank, to your place, but then I was like, well, I'm running behind. I'm going to get a lift. So then I get a lift to take me to the Starbucks to where I'm going to meet you. And I'm standing there at Starbucks and I hear somebody yell, "Swine time!" Well, I figure they must be talking to me. Like if somebody yells Brian, they could be talking to another Brian. But when you hear swine time, that's definitely me, if your nickname Swine Time. I mean, and so it was my friend Tyler, who I actually kind of messaged like 4 days before I came out to see if he was still out here, because I know he'd left and come back and different things. Boom, there he was right there. So we're hanging at Burbank. Then you came and picked me up. Then we come out to Brea. And we're taking a little walk, and we hear somebody once again yell, "Swine time!" And it was my friend Double R, who I used to have a show with here in Brea back in all the way to 2020. And he used to always be on my shows here at the Brea Improv, and he was pulling up at the bank right there.
Dude, that was weird because I went on. I was like, oh, let's go to P.F. Chang's, this Chinese chain restaurant, really nice restaurant. And then even the employees here at the Improv were like, I don't think there's a P.F. Chang's. I'm like, well, Google says there is. And then I was like, let's just follow the instructions. So I go on Waze and we walk, and it took us to a Panda Express. And I'm like, what the heck? I go, let's just keep walking. There must be something. And you go, okay, Darren, let's just keep walking. You wanted to bet me $2. I go, well.
Yeah, I would have won that bet, by the way.
I know. I go, let's just have a fun bet. Let's go get some Chinese food.
I'm over here there.
And then I saw that guy, your friend, in the drive-thru. I thought it was a drive-thru of a fast food restaurant. He just happened to come around the corner at the right exact moment to see you.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect timing there. I mean, all 3 of those events today were just bam. Just random timing. 3 different people just randomly on my last day here before I roll out.
Yeah, man, that's a trip. So anyways, you're back in LA for good.
No,
no, I'm just kidding.
No, dude. No.
But let me ask you this though: you didn't stay at a hotel. You got an Airbnb. Now, what was this Airbnb like?
Okay, well, that was in a shed.
Yeah, what was that? It was like a shed they made.
They had a shed. Like they have all these sheds and the people's yards and stuff and the backyards. I mean, that's how these third world countries like Los Angeles operate. So sheds and stuff, because everything else is too expensive. I'll tell you this too.
Yeah.
Of all the Airbnbs, because I do personally, because I do I've been doing my videos, MTV's Airbnbs. I've had several of them, okay? And they've been watched, 20, 30 times, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn, you're getting those kind of numbers?
Yeah, dude. But I always go get Airbnbs, and LA has the highest prices I've seen, and which is
give
crazy.
Us a price, guys. If you want to come to LA and see an Airbnb, what? How much did you? How much did you want?
Stay in a shed.
No, but let's not start there at the shed. Let's start at we're not going to go crazy high in Malibu, but let's just say you're like, okay, I'm gonna come to LA for 3 days. What do you think you'd pay per night and with the area?
I mean, if you're staying outside of a shed,
like a normal, what would a normal person stay?
I think 110, 120.
That'd get you in like a nice house.
I wouldn't say a house. I'd say a place to stay. Okay, if I'm by myself, I'm doing the $80 shed. If I'm with my girl, I'm doing the $110, $120. But we're still not going crazy buying, too much where, people on vacation. That would just be like to get through. So I'm shocked because there's a lot less people in LA. And they kept moving the prices of the housing up. The food is out of control. The inflation of California is nuts, dude. I was telling you, when I'm there, I used to be able to, go to a couple places. The food was like $12, $13. Those places is now $20 for the same thing. So, I noticed stuff like that, and that's only happened since I left. So, but yeah, man, I did some good gigs, and that was cool. So, and I was excited to talk some of my trash to their faces, like I've been doing on the internet, because I've been waiting to talk some trash on everything that happened in my view of the world from it. So I'm surprised you haven't, so I've been kind of like wanting to come back to California and see how I speak. And I was shocked at Yamashiro yesterday because
that's a comedy venue, guys. It's called Yamashiro. It's been around for over 100 years. It's beautiful. Overlooks the city.
Yeah, and that was a fun show, man. They had a comedy show there.
Yeah, you were shocked that you did so well.
I was shocked because I was shocked how much they were on my side, man. Because I was like, I'm gonna do all this stuff that I think could offend people, and they're actually on my side.
I think what it is like the internet. People will go there to fight. That's the idea, like they want to see someone. You'll always find these trolls. They want to get in arguments. But a comedy show, they go there to laugh, and you've learned to present your ideas in a comical way. Just like we saw the great Godfrey the other night. The guy was a master comedian. He was so good. He was saying some of the sort of viewpoints you had, and he's making you laugh, and he's doing some stuff that if you look at it on a piece of paper, it's pretty dark, but the way he would do it,
Yeah, if you were reading that, it'd be dark.
It'd be like, whoa, but...
Yeah, and plus, when I'm saying my stuff on stage...
he smiles a lot, and you do too.
Yeah.
You say it with a smile and a laugh, then people, they know to laugh,
Yeah, and plus I've been working on my double leg takedown, so,
Dude, you did a whole thing. I don't want to get in trouble here, but you did some controversial stuff last night. And there was
get in trouble by who?
I don't want my stuff to get yanked off any kind of platform. And
yeah, which platform would they yank it off of?
Wherever this will go out.
Well, I disagree with them if they're going to do that, man.
Well, you put it on your platform.
Oh, it's definitely going on my platform, and if they pull this off, they're a bunch of commies. Okay.
Here's what's good about you: you don't speak clearly, so I think the AI doesn't understand what you say. Bunch of gummies. It's a bunch of gummies. Yeah.
You can't be afraid of these words, Darren. Who cares?
Yeah. There's this guy named Tim Pool. You ever heard of Tim Pool?
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah, I guess he got he got mad at his guests because the guy. Well, I'm not gonna get mad at you, but he flew. He's flying people out. He's putting them in hotels, paying them money, and he told this guy, "Please don't do this, this, and this." And then the guy said all this stuff, and then he had to stop the podcast. But we're talking thousands of dollars are at stake. This isn't happening in this situation, but when I say take it down, like these things can get flagged and stuff.
Well, that's bull crap.
Thank you for saying that. He's very considerate. He didn't say the full word. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is bull crap.
See, I censored myself for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, they should be allowed to say what they got to say. I mean, so usually if they're trying to stop you from saying something, it's probably because it's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, because look at all the lies that they told us, and and anybody with half of a brain could see these lies coming from forever away. I mean, remember when they were saying about the?
Yep, I do.
Okay,
I sure do. Whatever you're about to say, I'm just going to agree with you and keep it moving. Yeah,
man, I'm putting Darren. It's a risk. I mean, you're putting your whole Pocket Party podcast on the line here.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. The world is crazy. I'm gonna drink some water.
Yeah.
Like that comedian Shane Gillis, he did a podcast.
Yeah.
They did some jokes about whatever, and then he got an opportunity to be on SNL, right?
Yep.
And then they some people dug up those episodes. Oh, look at he did these jokes. He's about, and then And then he got fired. But then he just went on and kept doing his stand-up, kept getting love, kept performing on the, of course, with the help of like Joe Rogan and other big people that put him out, Bill Maher, et cetera. And they put him out there. I think Bill Maher, I'm not sure. But I
don't think Bill Maher.
It could have been.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Bill Maher has everybody on, There's a great Kid Rock episode you should check out.
I already checked it out, but let's stop plugging Bill Maher. I ain't a fan of Bill Maher.
You wanted to fight him once for charity.
I definitely would fight Bill Maher. Yeah,
for charity.
For charity. That's a stripper that we know.
Yeah. So I remember like, and then so listen, you would think that'd be the worst day of your life, right? You get the opportunity for SNL, then you get fired before you even start.
Yeah, that's not
Cut
cool.
to however long it's been, 4 years later or whatever. I just saw that Bud Light wants to hire him to be a spokesperson, spokesman, and then he's going to host SNL.
Yeah, Bud Light's trying to save himself, but I still remember what they did with Dylan Mulvaney, so I'm still not going to start drinking Bud Light, just to let you know.
No amount of money would change your mind.
Oh, would amount of money change my mind? Yeah, $1 million. How about that, Bud Light, for $1 million?
That's cool.
Or maybe 1,000, but
yeah,
1,200 would be perfect.
Right, so he's negotiating for himself. You went up, you went down, and then you met him in the middle. Not even the middle. You went up $200, $1,200. All right, meet me at $1,200. It's a deal. Bud Light.
Pay my bills for a month. There we go. So
that's funny, man.
Yeah.
Do you So life in LA was what was your daily life in LA like back then? Acting work, stand-up comedy work, promoting shows.
Yeah, man, I did it all.
Every day you were doing background work. You were on movie sets.
Yeah.
You were doing stand-up.
Yeah.
You're running shows. Hey, I got this show at the Hollywood Improv. I got this show at the 3 Clubs. You'd book your friends. You'd book a lot of people. I remember we'd work out together. Then you're okay. I got to go do a writing session because you'd write. You had a writing partner.
Yeah, man, I was busy doing all that stuff, and
now cut to 4 years later. You're in Ohio. What's life like there? What are you doing there? What's happening?
I'm throwing bales of hay to the cows, my neighbor's cows, to get ready and prepped. Because you know what? At the end of the day, all those little writing things won't help you eat, but those cows next door will.
Nice.
So I'm a prepper.
You're a prepper.
I'm prepping. So. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of like, that was all fun, all the time in LA, and I still like to see it, but I think. But
you're still performing. You're still setting up shows. It's different than it was in LA.
I'm just kind of like I said, I like my little town I live in, and I just want to stay there and travel around and do gigs and have my own shows there in Ohio. But all the scrambling around, dude, I don't know if I want to.
If fans and trolls wanted to meet you in Ohio, where would they meet you?
March 30th, for you said the trolls, March 30th at the Spatola Classic. For all the trolls, I will be there. I will switch around weight classes if you really, are trolling me that bad. If you're one of those people that are trolling me on social media and you don't even have your actual picture on your profile when you're trolling, yeah, please meet me at the Spatola Classic March 30th. I'll even help you get signed up. How's that?
What's a Spatola? Is it like the...
It's a wrestling tournament for dudes who are like 44 years old like me. and the trolls on social media.
Yeah. I doubt any trolls are going to take the time to go out there and wrestle you. But they might, though. Whatever.
But they'll take the time to sit on the internet and run their little fingers.
Not even their mouth, their fingers.
Their fingers. I
remember I did a podcast with you once. You were 39 and you were getting ready to wrestle and retire at 40, and then you just kept going.
I kept going. I thought I was going to retire from. No, I want to keep going. I might keep going further if I can.
Wow. What have you changed? Are you the same weight class now that you were when you were 39?
Well, yeah, I can be 170 because I think on that one I was. No, 165, and 165 is getting a little harder, but that's still what I can do. So that's one. But I'd prefer to be at 172 or something.
Where are you going to wrestle at in March 31st?
March 30th, Cincinnati, Ohio, Spatola Classic.
No, but what weight class?
Oh, 165, I think.
Damn, you're going to get down to 165? Mm-hmm. What do you weigh now, you think?
Probably 180.
You weigh 180?
180, maybe 178, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
I've been on such a weird schedule this week.
Yeah.
So
why do fighters always want to try to get down? Don't you want to just wrestle at the weight you're at?
No, because Well, you can. It just depends. Like, because I think in mine, the weight classes are 165 to 180, which is 180 my natural, but what I am now. But when you're training, you start getting more lean anyways.
Yeah.
And then you're wrestling other guys that are also going down. So you're really the same size once you get down there. But I don't know. It's also a little bit about the toughness, the mental toughness it gets you as you're going down there. And then once you make your weight, you're actually, even though you guys start at the same weight, you're a little bigger because, you were bigger. I don't know.
So in other words, is it like, okay, if I wrestle a guy that's 180, or I can wrestle a guy at 165, I'm gonna go down for the 160. The guy, because maybe there's a slight chance I could beat him compared to someone that weighs 180.
Yeah, you're just going for lesser weight. You're going for somebody who doesn't weigh as much. So you think that because the weight makes a difference. But but you can wrestle your own size too. It doesn't really. It just, I don't know. That's just what we do. I don't know. That's how we trained.
What if you were so tough you didn't care about that? You're like, I don't give a shit.
Well, I knew somebody like that.
Really?
Yeah,
like,
Olympic champion Doug Blueball.
Oh, he's like, I ain't dropping no weight. I ain't no
1960 Olympic champion. He just wrestled at wherever he weighed at. He was bad, dude. He was a bad man.
Wow.
Bad man.
Damn. When are wrestlers in their prime? Like the top level, like professional, like wrestlers, like that level?
So that would probably be Olympic wrestlers and
age group.
I'd say 24, maybe 22, 24 to 32, 34. I think that window. Because even though some of the older guys some guys start dropping in their 30s, there's still the guys that can still, in their 30s, still do well, and they got the little bit of experience,
Dude, I was walking through the park the other day. I had my car worked on, and the guy goes, "Yeah, just check back in a couple hours." I'm like, "All right." So I went for a walk and went and got a breakfast burrito, and it was really good because I heard about this breakfast burrito place.
Yeah, which one?
It was. It's called the Corner Cottage. It's in Burbank.
And how much was the burrito?
$7.25.
Okay, not bad. I think burritos should cost $6, but $7.25 is better.
Yeah.
Some of the places here in LA were selling them for $12. That's just too much money.
Yeah, this one was on the cheaper side. It wasn't that good, and I think the reason it gets high marks is because of the price.
The price that gives me high marks if it's a good price. Because if it's a more expensive, man, that thing better be humongous.
Yeah.
And a lot of times at expensive restaurants, the items are small. I don't know how that makes sense.
Oh, this is more like a working man's like hey, like
that.
Like people are like, we're gonna go get like 12 burritos and take them to the shop. It was that kind of vibe.
That's what I like.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I went there and I was like, I remember eating it, going, I'm thinking to myself, I already said the name of the place, but whatever, guys. I'm being honest here. This is the.
That's going to bashing restaurants.
I know, exactly. I know. No, it's good, but I'm just telling you, I've had better burritos in airports.
Okay, well, maybe that was just the day it was.
I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying it. I'm being honest.
We're trying to save them now.
You guys go there, and if you want a $7 breakfast burrito, but if you want
to play them this podcast, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And if you want a really good burrito, check out the Phoenix Airport Gate C. They have some really good breakfast burritos over there. Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Phoenix burrito. Yeah, a lot of times when I have to get up early the next morning, knowing that I'm gonna have a breakfast burrito at the airport is one of the motivations to get me going.
Man, now see, I want to think that I've never found airport food to be good, even at the vending places.
Oh, vending?
Or the
vendors, the restaurants?
The vendors, yeah.
Oh, really?
Vendors. Yeah.
Oh, man. No,
I usually think airport food sucks everywhere.
Well, I usually get breakfast burritos are pretty good.
And how much are they there at the Phoenix airport?
If I were off the top of my head, probably like, you're right, it's just a little bit more, probably like $12, $13.
Yeah, see, that loses it for me. Because you could get two burritos at the other place for the price of one at the airport.
That's true, but it'll get you out of bed and on your flight. But anyways, enough of that.
You mean that was an exciting conversation, Darren?
Enough of that. Yeah. So I ate this breakfast burrito, and I'm like, all right, let me walk back towards my car. And I cut to this park, right? But through the park, as I'm about to cross the street, I look across the street. I see at the park there's this dude with his shirt off, and he's shadow boxing, but only like 2 or 3 punches. He's going, and they weren't even that good at punches. They were like, he's like, and he's kind of like talking to himself.
Yeah. So you're like, let me go over there and kick his ass real quick.
Well, I'm like, is this guy homeless or not, or crazy or cuckoo? I couldn't tell. But then I thought, well, am I a pussy? And if I am, I'm gonna like not cross the street here.
Okay.
And so it was stupid. Like in my own mind, I'm like, what would you do? Would you avoid that guy and just go down a block? Or would you say, you know what? I'm going to cross the street. I'm not letting this weirdo like intimidate me. He wasn't doing it towards me. He was just he was shadow boxing just no one, but he was pretty
boxing just in the air.
But you're going to walk towards him and he may say something to you.
Well, then I'd knock him out real quick so he can learn a little bit of a lesson. Learn to move his hands faster and stuff like that.
What if you just had a breakfast burrito and we're on your way to the bathroom?
Then I'd be like, excuse me, sir, I got to use the restroom.
I just had a $7 breakfast burrito, if you can read between the lines. So, I was walking.
I don't know what I
the light, the walk thing turned. So I crossed the street. I'm walking toward him to cross the street. And then I start to turn because I'm following the path of the sidewalk. And then he yells out at me. He goes, "Sir, would you like to challenge me in a fair boxing match? We'll box until the loser hits the ground."
This is what he said to you?
Yeah, 100%. Would you like to challenge me to a fair boxing match?
Well, first off, you'd have to challenge him. Right now, he's challenging you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So you'd have to say, you'd have to be flipped around. You'd have to be telling him, hey, do you want to fight me in a fair boxing match?
Till the loser hits the ground.
Till the loser hits the ground. So he's throwing out the challenge.
So what do you think you would do in that situation?
Probably just, knock him out with one quick punch to the face.
He was still far enough away. It wasn't like you'd have to like stop because I was walking.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't really. Because I don't know.
I could. Yeah, because it was as I was walking toward, but he didn't say it until I started walking kind of away from him. Like to get my attention, sir.
No, I'd probably just keep rolling, man. Just keep walking. What's he gonna do,
dude? That's what I did. I ignored him.
Yeah,
I ignored him. I didn't even acknowledge him. I just kept walking.
Yeah,
and then I used the restroom, and then after I went.
I don't know. I mean, your other option would have been to take your flashlight and flash it into his eyes.
Dude, it was daytime though. It was daytime.
Oh shoot!
I know. It's my superpower. Doesn't work during the day. No, so I went to.
You're like a vampire.
So I started shadow boxing. In the bathroom, and after I got a nice sweat going, I went back and that pussy took off. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't even there. No, I just kept walking. I ignored him. I didn't even acknowledge him. I think that's the best thing.
That's the best thing.
But I did notice. I will say this: before I walked over there, I thought I did kind of size up his shadow boxing, and he didn't look that good. But still, But you don't want to be fighting strangers in the.
Yeah, because you don't know. What else he has, and he could be just acting like he doesn't have good boxing skills, so that you're like, ooh, easy victory, and then really he does have good boxing skills. That's what I do to people all the time.
You shadow box in parks poorly,
just
with poor form and start chicken winging your punches, never blocking your face, sticking your neck out like
my own self in the head,
sticking your neck out like a giraffe. Would you like to challenge me to a fair boxing match? But I was thinking I wouldn't want to challenge him to anything like a foot race. Let's have a jumping contest. I just didn't feel very like doing any.
I'd like to challenge him to a shower.
Ew.
No, he'd have to take a shower. I challenge you to take a shower.
Oh, I thought you were
like... Come on, dude.
Me and you, let's hit the showers.
No, I challenge you to take a shower is what I should have said.
Well, he didn't it wasn't that kind of homeless guy. He was more like... His shirt was off, too, by the way.
Okay, was he tough or not? Did he look athletic or did he look not athletic?
I would say sort of athletic.
Short of athletic, okay.
Yeah, enough to where I was like, I wasn't going to challenge him to a fair boxing match.
But you were like, he's not that athletic. You'd have a chance, maybe.
I mean, anytime a crazy person challenges you a boxing match in public at a park, I mean, is this guy
There's not a lot of chance for victory. Well, right. Nothing's going to end up good.
Yeah, and how fair is this boxing match going to be?
Yeah, and who else is there any other people there?
Yeah,
on his side.
Yeah, I know, hiding and stuff, but
yeah,
it was weird. I told my wife about it, and she's like, "Man, I'd rather just go to the park and exercise, like the public, like the big parks, rather than like just some neighborhood park."
Yeah, well, that's L.A. not taking care of the neighborhood parks.
Yeah, that's
your taxpayer money going to waste. That's your taxpayer money getting sent to wars on other countries to fund these other countries' wars. And meanwhile, on Darren's own street, he has to protect himself against a guy who wants a fair boxing match in the middle of a day.
Middle of the day, dude.
Meanwhile, our tax money's going overseas. What do you think about that?
No opinion.
Okay.
Anyway, no, of course. Who likes that? Nobody likes that. I don't like that. Yeah, I think it's terrible, man.
Man, you'd be a great politician. No opinion. No.
Dude, it's funny. I did a video. I said, I'll just tell you what I said. I go, for my comedy, I go, I like my women like I like mine. Because I'm not political at all. I go, I like my women like I like mine. And then some guy yelled out, Donald Trump. And I was like, well, I didn't say anything, right? So I was just like, I go, I'm not political. Let's keep it moving. But then I thought, I'm kind of curious. I was like, I go, guys, let me ask you a question. I go, clap if you're going to vote for Joe Biden. And nobody clapped.
Well, that makes sense.
But I will say it was in it was in Simi Valley, which is
California.
It is California. But I was thinking they're probably a little bit more, skewed towards. So I go, clap if you're going to vote for Donald Trump. And about 70% of the people were like, yeah, woo, yeah. And then I made some jokes, whatever, just to kind of, keep it neutral. But the best part was somebody in the back yelled out, we're going to vote for Darren Carter. And then everybody cheered, and it was funny, and it was a way out of it. I thought that's kind of a cool moment.
Yeah, that's cool.
I said, you know what? It was comedic, and nothing crazy. I didn't say anything. I just did the poll. And I put it out there on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. And then I noticed, just like you would expect, people start fighting in the comment section.
Good.
Good.
Let them waste their time. That's excellent, Darren. There you go. You brought something positive to the world by telling jokes. And here these people are on the internet just going fighting over it, And, I think that probably, a lot of computer bots from Joe Biden's side are fighting over it with regular people. I think that there's a lot of fake profiles being used for sloppy, sleepy, creepy, and his regime, and those computer bots are out there doing it on Joe Biden's spot. But the Trumpers might actually be sitting behind that computer board, getting tricked into it. And going into war with these computer bots.
It's crazy, man. I wonder, were they even talking like this in the 90s? They weren't, huh? Nobody was really...
The world was a better place because there was less technology, or at least would appear to be, But the news...
I used to not even know really who... I think I knew the president and the vice president and maybe the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
And that was it. And now you start to kind of... You hear these... I got to, be honest, during 2020 is when you started realizing, the power of governors, because certain governors could lock a state down and others were a little bit more loose and,
Yeah, dude, it was 2020. Everybody started figuring out who everybody was and what everyone's doing because, a lot of people are never going to let what just happened ever happen again. But we were asleep at the wheel, and that's why they were able to get on with us like that. So we got to be awake, not woke, awake, driving with our eyes open and seeing who's trying to do what, because
there's definitely a lot changing. Even today, I showed you that video of that. I forget the name of it. It's the thing with the goggles, Apple Vision.
That looks just stupid.
It looks like that could be the future of what's happening.
Well, that for some people it will be. And they'll try to push it on everybody, just like they push the cell phones on everybody, just like they push the QR codes on people when they go to restaurants. See, I don't like going to a restaurant where there's a QR code instead of a menu. All this technology stuff, man. Enough is enough. And then in LA,
Do you feel like this is what... I'm sorry. In LA...
Go ahead. Well, they got all those damn robot things running around with the food, like Uber Eats and stuff with robots delivering the food to people.
And they look like little electric robot dogs.
Yeah, electric robots.
How do you feel about those things?
Oh, it's stupid. It's trash. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this might be something that's always happened whenever there's technology, right?
Some people will fight against it.
Like the telegraph, right? There was a telegraph, and then there was the Pony Express, and it was for a month, and it was for a year and a half. It was 18 months. And they would deliver those letters, and then it got sort of replaced by the telegraph, and then the horse and buggy got replaced by the car, and the radio got replaced by the television, and then color television, and
now internet,
yeah.
And
so part of us is embracing it, and part of us is
yeah.
And we've seen it what it was like,
Yeah,
in the 70s and 80s. What year were you? Were you around in the 70s?
No, I was born in 1979.
Okay, you're barely in the 70s, yeah.
So I would say that I hear what you're saying, that those are going to come in and take place. I personally don't like it, because I'm from a different time, so I don't want to see these robots. I see those robots. I'm like, oh God, that's taking. And people are like, well, yeah, that's a crappy job delivery. Nah, it's a job. Regular people gonna want to do that. It's kind of a cool job. Actually, you can deliver stuff, have your day, walk around, go to places. Now that's coming in to take over.
You know what's weird is you don't like those robot delivery things, right?
Right.
There's a guy that Tarun said he saw. Tarun goes, everyone's so angry these days. He's a buddy of ours, Tarun Shetty. He goes, everyone's so angry these days. He goes, I was just walking randomly down the street, and this guy, random stranger, saw one of those things, and he kicked it. But that guy somehow was blaming Donald Trump on those things. That guy goes, this is like Trump, it's everywhere. And he like kicked it. And so it's weird. Like, I feel like you're probably for Trump.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, of course, man. I got the Make America Great Again hat on Hollywood Boulevard. You know, that goes to show you I was coming in and I flew in and then I took the subway to Hollywood Boulevard. I get off of Hollywood Boulevard, boom, there's this guy, JB. He dresses as the Harlem Globetrotter on Hollywood Boulevard out there in front of the Donald Trump store selling Make America Great Again hats. I said, okay, I'm definitely buying one from you. Boom, right there on Hollywood Boulevard. I asked him if he sells a lot of those in Hollywood. He says, yeah. Now, you wouldn't think that if you watch the mainstream media.
You said Donald Trump's store or star?
Donald Trump's star on Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow.
So yeah, dude.
Shout out to JB. How do you know this guy?
On Hollywood Boulevard, he dresses as a Harlem Globetrotter in the summertime. You've seen him out there taking pictures with people.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him out there, but yeah.
Oh, you must not be driving by there enough.
I will, because there's going to be a new comedy club at Hollywood and Highland. But what I'm saying is,
him there, you can pass the ball
what
around
I'm saying
with him.
is there's some random stranger that was like angry, and he kicked that robot, and he goes, and he was like, he's like, that reminds me of Trump. Well,
and then he's watching too much CNN,
and then you don't like the thing, and you're like, that reminds me of Biden.
Well, it doesn't remind me of Biden. It reminds me more of the fact that. I think that there's a movement to replace people with robots, basically, and that's how I see it.
Maybe you guys' hate can bring the two of you guys together.
I don't know
for these robots.
I don't know who this guy is, but yeah, I mean, if he wants to disassemble them, sure, man. I mean, whatever it takes, and if he wants to keep kicking stuff, go for it, dude. Kick the robots. I mean, they'll probably make those robots mean, and then they'll just beat the crap out of humans.
Ooh.
But
yeah, those robots will meet you on March 30th at the
they'll show up at the Spatola Classic. There comes a bunch of robots. Boom.
Ding, ding. Yeah, man. Yeah, that is wild. I am torn on that too with technology. There's certain things with technology I love, and then just like everyone, it's certain things you're like, this. Whoa! Like when I saw the goggles and the VR, and
I don't want that.
My first instinct was I don't like that. But then again, I was like, let me at least be open to find out what is it and what does it do and where is this taking us,
Well, it's taking us ultimately to less freedom because that's another thing that will be used to control people. And even though we think we're free with all of our technology, it controls a lot of our time. So, I know you're supposed to see the world optimistically, but I don't see that really as a good thing.
Do you want to do a gratitude list?
Well, yeah, I'm grateful that I didn't have to deal with that crap till I was 44 years old. That wasn't already in the world when I started.
All right, let's. Here's something that's interesting. When I was a kid, the teachers used to say, "You guys better study your math. You're not always going to have a calculator on you." And now we do.
Yeah, now we do. Those teachers were wrong. Once again, teaching propaganda.
Do you have a watch on you?
No, I don't, but I have had watches before.
Yeah, it's funny because I was thinking about it. I used to carry a watch. Now I don't even need a watch.
Yeah, that's right. Watches are...
You don't need a watch. You don't need a calculator. You don't need a camera. You don't need a recorder. You don't need a notebook. You don't need a map. It's all right there.
Yeah.
A phone, it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to get more and more reliant on the phones, man. It's just... I don't know if we can get more reliant than we already are, but they probably will. So, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, dude.
Dude, this is such a positive episode.
Well.
No, I got you. I know what you're saying. Let's do a gratitude list. Let's turn it around. Okay. I love having a person on the podcast that's very open. That's very open to what they're going through and the way they see the world, So it's an interesting take.
Oh, I'm doing that?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, that's good.
You didn't realize you were doing that?
I guess I'm doing that. Yeah, I was just hoping it's interesting, man.
All right, let's do a gratitude list. I am thankful to have a great show that we're about to perform, and I'm grateful to perform at Brea. They said there's already over 100 people that are going to be coming, and who knows how many more are going to come by the time the show starts. And I'm thankful to be able to spend a great day with my buddy Brian Swinehart.
Hey, man, I'm thankful for all those things, too, except for Brian Swinehart, Darren Carter. But I'm thankful to have a gig tonight and all the gigs I've had this week. And it's been, I'm thankful I'm all right. And I ran into all these people today. That was crazy, dude. That was crazy for being here for such a short time because it wasn't even like I set up times to meet these people. They just randomly, boom, boom, crossing paths. It's crazy.
Dude, as Brody Stevens would say, connections.
Connections, yeah, man. I'm making connections. And then, so yeah, and I'm glad I got to spend all those years in LA, and I'm glad I left when I did, and I'm glad I got the life I got now. And if things didn't go the way they would have, I would have been still, because now when I left California, now I come back to LA and stuff, it looks way different to me. It looks like maybe I was chasing the wrong stuff when I was in LA before, and I'm glad that I had to leave to realize that. And I personally think I can put together better stuff out where I'm at and still come into the cities from time to time. But so it kind of all worked out the right way, I feel.
That's good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for checking out the Pocket Party Podcast. Brian Swinehart, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.